Hey guys, Kelly and Dave, we are having some coffee shooting the shit. And when we're shooting the shit, we're doing it publicly right now, right? This is publicly, this is being recorded.
Public shooting of shit.
Yes, and it is going to be sent out to the masses.
Through ones and zeros everywhere.
So, yeah, it's very matrixy. And that was making me think, I want to talk about privacy because it's one of the things that we talk about on the show all the time. And It's been a very weird year for privacy because between the NSA, between hacking, which is going on right now with this Sony situation, between leaking of emails and, you know, how we found out about the CIA.
Oh, and those sexed photos.
Oh, and the sexed photos.
Yes, those sex photos went out of those celebrities.
Yeah,
their personal boobs went out.
Yeah, the vagina pictures and all that other stuff. It's been a weird year for privacy. Privacy was something that at one time
we used to have.
We used to have it, right?
Remember that?
There was like a certain.
I don't.
There was a certain expectation of privacy. You know, even when I'm not just talking about before we got online, but for the first 10 years of being online, we thought
your emails, when you would send an email to someone, it would be like a private letter to someone. You didn't think someone might someday read that.
I mean, I literally remember when I first got online and I was on like AOL when it was still on a CD and I had to dial up and all that. You kids can read about that on the Wikipedia. But I literally remember that your emails would disappear after a few days.
Right.
And then Google came in with Gmail and kept everything all the time. And then they scan it so that they can figure out what ads, which I always think is hilarious because if I write an email about Transformers and I'm talking about Megatron, I get ads for Transformers that are going to...
It's really pissing me off now, that whole Google thing.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
So my question to you, after all this big lead-in, is what expectation of privacy do you have anymore at any level? Because it seems like it's not only the government, right? It's not only NSA, but now we know the hackers and the releasing of the emails, of private citizens' emails.
Yeah, I guess there's a difference between legal expectation and kind of real life expectation. You know, so legally I expect some privacy. I expect laws to work and that my private emails are private and that people can't be using them against me for things. And if you hack them, then it's a illegal act of some kind.
Right. But wait, but even before you go on, isn't that even the problem so then they can maybe go after the hacker that did it? But if you think about what's happening with Sony right now, so the hackers did it, whether you agree with the hackers or not, and whether you agree with Sony executives' decisions on things and financials, blah, blah, blah. But now all these websites are just picking up their emails because there's salacious stuff in them and pushing it out there. So there's so many levels. Like there's the legal part, as you're saying, but then there's this other part. That's the part that feels gross to me.
And it is gross. And it's, I mean, you know, but it's been happening for over 100 years. I mean, yellow journalism is yellow journalism. It's tabloid journalism. And here we now have tabloid online spreading of stuff. I won't even call it journalism at this point. I don't think there is journalism anymore. It's a sad thing.
Yeah, we should do a segment on what is journalism. Yeah. I don't even know anymore.
I don't know anymore either. I think they're still teaching it at universities, but I don't know if anyone's paying attention. So yeah, I mean, and I don't think I really even... I mean, I guess I expect, I don't know. Is there any privacy anymore online? I don't know. And then I'm also a person who does things like this. I have a podcast, I go online. So I'm saying, hey, part of my conversations in life are an online thing. I think the thing's gonna swing the other way. I think people are gonna get really pissed off about this eventually, hopefully soon, and start demanding that there are some real teeth in these laws and that we can go after people and that we do get to have something private. Or maybe we're all going to start really creating and demanding some barriers online again. I don't know, but it is. I mean, the fact that these people's emails are going all over the place. I mean, well, it was like the Donald Sterling thing too. I mean, Donald Sterling, those were private texts. Is that what it was? A text?
No, they were private phone calls.
Phone calls. Okay. I mean, even that. This is a privacy. These are private. No matter what, if you think the guy's the biggest Nimrod in the world, he has the right to say that stuff.
Is that the other part of this that doesn't really get into the equation, that people's principles seem to be very attached to exactly what's happening at that moment.
Yes.
So something like the Donald Sterling thing, of course, he's racist, he's awful.
Horrible.
At the end of the day, it's good, of course, that he doesn't own an NBA team, which has, you know, let's say it's 80% black players.
But he has every right to have an opinion and to say those things.
Right. So our expectation of his privacy is also couched in him owning a public thing. So there's so many layers,
and it's getting freaky now. The whole PC thing on campuses. You know, Bill Maher not being able to go to Berkeley to speak, or
now they're letting him.
Now they're letting him.
Yeah.
That's frightening. That PC stuff really frightens me, and that's coming from the left. And I'm generally a lefty person.
You're the lefty.
But
wearing a headband, that's a lefty thing.
Right, exactly. But I'm also a First Amendment proponent. I mean, huge First Amendment proponent, and almost an absolutist. I really believe that everyone should have the right to an opinion and say what they believe, because that makes a healthy conversation. Remember conversation? We used to have that. We don't have it online. We just yell at each other now.
You have the right to free speech, not the right not to be offended.
Yes.
And that's, everyone seems to think that you have a right not to be offended. Right.
I had an interview with Dick Cavett, and he was amazing. And he was
Speaking of free speech,
he loves to offend people, and he's in his 80s. And I was like, yes. I just those are my heroes, people who are willing to offend.
Yeah, there's so much here. I mean, we could talk about this forever. There's so much between free speech, between whether it's the government.
Here's my thought about the whole Sony thing: is what if this is just a big PR scheme? Oh my God, wouldn't that be great?
If that's what this is, I'm going to. Well, you know what? I'm probably not going to see the movie. The movie looks like shit anyway.
Yeah.
So
you know when they're promoting it like they are, it's not very good.
Yeah, but they're going, this is the best thing ever. Look, we can replace the executives, right? If it gets to that point.
And if North Korea bombs a movie house, oh my God.
Right, then we have bigger problems already. Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you have any manageable, reasonable expectation of privacy? Let us know in the comments right down below.